and super excited to be back. Same shirt, it's the same day. I totally recorded 3 of these in a row. Today's episode is about keeping it simple. And I want to start by defining what simple means. Simple is whatever is fun for you and your table. Some game masters and players get a lot of joy out of creating very detailed worlds, maps, charts, diagrams, backgrounds, stories, and I love that stuff too. But one of the really cool things about playing any role-playing game is that we decide what's fun. It's a game. It is designed to be enjoyable. And it's really easy as a game master to hit a point where you are stressing so much over your game that you give yourself a migraine. And I'm speaking from experience here. I've done that to myself. It's okay to not prepare that much. In fact, it's encouraged. There are so many systems out there that you can build fun, interesting worlds together at the table without you having to spend mad scrambling days doing nothing else but trying to prepare for your campaign. So, don't be afraid to do a simple idea that'll be really fun. Create a couple cards of some cool characters and just go to town. One of the things you have to overcome to do that is fear. The fear of not being prepared. The fear that everyone's going to be looking at you and you've no idea what happens next. So I recommend that you start slowly. Take whatever you have in your head for how you need to prepare or want to prepare for your next game or session and do it. And just take one part and say, you know what? I'm not going to draw the map for that area of the city. You know what? I'm not going to describe the full backstory for this third NPC I have to create for this next world that they may not even meet. I'm just going to do a quick card, or I'm not going to define them at all. Do it in pieces and start to create what I call white space in your game that you are creating for yourself, where you're saying, you know what? Let's see what happens if we were to use improv or just let us work together at the table and have fun. Whatever pops in my head is what's there. Now, there's certain things you're always going to want to have prepared for a session. It's different for every game master. For me, I want access to a couple NPC cards that might appear, but I don't know everyone is going to appear. So if they're major players in the story and I think they might be around or might be needed, I make sure they're in my box or nearby. And then I want to have a few of the groups or the types of obstacles that I expect my table to come into contact with. So I might have some ruffians, or I might have a guild that is working against them or to different ends, or I might have a puzzle or a trap. So I like to have a few things, but again, I try to keep it, for me, simple on one card. This is, though, where I want to talk about bullies. The role-playing community is one of the most accepting, encouraging groups on the planet. However, we tend to interact on the internet, which seems to, if not attract, give a louder presence to people who are bullies. It happened to me just this week. I was sharing some of the techniques that I'm using in improv, and a Redditor basically started to attack me that I don't understand the game and I'm not playing it right, and he had sources and blah blah blah. And so I just immediately blocked that person. I'm like, cool. I was like, you play the way you want to play. If that's fun for you to stress over endless rules, cool, good, have fun. But beware of that, okay? So it happens to all of us, and not everybody means to be a bully when they question what you're doing. So just be aware that as you start to do things a little differently and you start to say, hey, what would be fun for my table? Not everyone may understand or agree with what you're doing. That's okay. This is your table. You are creating a space for your players to have fun playing this game together. And so please do not let those bullies win. Surround yourself with people who support you and who are great resources, and just involve your table and have fun. Create little opportunities to say, hey, I'm not enjoying this part, or they're not enjoying a part of your game, and say, hey, what could we do? Let's play with it. Let's try something, because it's a game. It's a game. It's here to have fun. So one of the cool things you can do, and why I love Dungeon World is built around this idea of leaving blank space, what I call white space if you're into design. So leaving blank space, not defining a dungeon that they're going into, maybe just defining a few rooms on the map and leaving everything blank in between. Or having a very simple diagram for the tree that they're going to go in and spend all their time in for 2, 3, 4 episodes. And then just having fun in the moment, going back and forth. So as game masters, that traditionally we were the ones that had to define everything, what it looked like, what happens next, what the world is how they're experiencing the world. We were in control. As we start to learn to create space, and as we learn to start to take offers from our table, and offers just means they're able to introduce ideas. You sense offers are just a way for your players to let you know something is exciting. That's it. So they're playing the game and they're like, oh, is it a dragon? Yes, it's a dragon, but it's a baby dragon. Right? So offers can be very explicit like that, or they can just be listening to a player being like, I'm afraid to open the bag. And that's telling you something. It's giving you an offer. Like, what do they fear might be in the bag? Is it something from their past? And you're like, oh, we had to talk about X. And then you introduce whatever comes into your head. So we'll go into that in more detail later. For now, I just want you all to feel comfortable knowing that you can keep it simple. And that means keeping it fun. That's all it means. Keeping it fun for you and your table, right? Because there's a lot of responsibility on us as GMs. Recording day, I'm a madman up here writing and creating cards, and I've had weeks to do it. And during those weeks, I've done walks with I've done walks with Eli. I've been jotting down ideas, but it's always the day of when it starts to hit, and that's pretty normal for a lot of us. But I'm also now able to take a deep breath and go, hey, I can just spec out the key things I need, and it's going to be a good time. We're going to have fun, and that's what matters. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Looking forward to your feedback and knowing what you like, what you would love to see more of, how you're enjoying this series, and we'll alter and adapt and learn and listen together. I'll talk to you all soon.